Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. Today I was inspired to talk about dating disastrous or dating disasters. Oh, yeah, I've had quite a few of those. So I watched this documentary the other day, and I'm not going to mention, well, I'll link to it below. And it was about a very popular dating app and some women who had used it looking for sex, connection, whatever. And they had had some very disappointing encounters, let's say, that's to put it very mildly. And I wanted to make this video about dating disaster stories and some of the disasters that I've lived myself. And in this particular documentary, it was talking about, well, I think with this hookup culture that we have now and maybe lockdown as well, which doesn't help, I think years ago, people might have gone for dinner on a first date. That does not happen now. And then dinner became a coffee. And then now, maybe you can't go for coffee. And even some people just skip coffee and then people go to someone's house they just met online. And I think you're opening yourself up to lots of vulnerable situations if you do that. Obviously, everyone can do what they want. It's not a moral video at all. But yeah, I just think... for me personally, I've never really had a one night stand just for that reason. I just thought, well, the main reason was I thought it was kind of difficult to be turned on by someone in just the space of a few hours. And also just thinking about the safety element as well. You know, you just don't know who this person is. And, you know, in many situations like that, people have been drinking, so you're even more vulnerable. But anyway, I did have had lots of dating disaster stories, to be honest. And most of them on the first date, I would always try and meet someone during the day for a coffee, and usually in the same cafe, which might sound a bit crazy, but in a cafe that I knew the owners, so that, you know, if anything did go wrong or whatever, then I would kind of I was kind of like a bit safer, let's say, or less vulnerable. But some of the disaster stories were nothing to do with safety at all. It was just seriously awkward and uncomfortable. And I think they say that the first 7 seconds or something, you can tell if there was an attraction there or not. So I had so many awkward dates that I decided never to do online dating again. And I've never been on a dating app. I don't like this kind of thing where they can know how many meters away they are from you. I just think that's a bit creepy, really. It might have been about 12 years ago, so it's a long time ago, kind of before the dating app era. And I think I met him in the street, actually. So we met in person, and I think he asked me for directions or something like that. And I can't remember how it came up, but I said that I was a vegetarian, and being a vegetarian or having some culinary interest is always a point of, let's say, an excuse for someone to want to take you for dinner. I've had this happen to me so many times in the past where someone said, oh, I'm vegetarian too. Then we go for dinner and they order chicken salad, and you're thinking, hey, weren't you a vegetarian? Anyway, this guy that seemed quite friendly, but I didn't and he was with a friend of his as well when I met him. And he told me that we should go for dinner at some point. And I was like, okay, yeah. Because I'm quite open and friendly. And I gave him my phone number, which I probably shouldn't have. But anyway, he kept phoning me over a period of time, maybe. I don't know how long it was. But I was always busy. And but each time he phoned me, we kind of stayed on the phone for a while and chatted, etc. So I felt like he wasn't a complete stranger. So the night we actually did end up going for dinner, we were going to some vegetarian place actually, and I knew that I didn't want to have sex with this guy. I just wanted to go out for dinner and have a chat, you know. But anyway, during the dinner, I was talking about my art because I used to paint and draw, and I used to have my paintings in my house at the time, and I throw them away now, which is quite terrible. But anyway, I had photos of these paintings and drawings on my phone, and I showed them to him. And then this guy just starts going through my photos, and I thought that was so rude. And I was like, give me my phone back. So that was the first red flag on this date. And then after that, he said to me, where are these paintings? And I was like, at my house. And I said, I want to see them. He pretended to be some kind of art connoisseur, but I was like, no, no, we're not going that fast. I don't even fancy him anyway. So I decided not to invite him to my place or anything. But then the bill came, and he wouldn't let me pay for my half, which in a situation like that, I mean, I'm a kind of like, I always pay for my half of the bill, or just what I've consumed, maybe not half, because I always kind of like consume less than the other person. But he really insisted on paying. So I was like, okay, cool, free dinner. But that wasn't my intention at all. So I said, I'll pay for some drinks afterwards. So then we went to a bar, and I tried to pay for some drinks, and then he wouldn't let me pay for the drinks. And so I was like, oh my God. So then I felt really uncomfortable, because I don't know. I just felt, I don't know why. But anyway, when we were having these drinks, he suddenly started to get quite aggressive. And when he realized that he wasn't going to come back to my place, he just said to me, you just came out for the free dinner, didn't you? And I was like, what? How dare you? And I actually tried to pay twice. And so by that point, I just realized there was no point in arguing. And I thought this guy's very aggressive. And I just got up and walked out. And he was a guy that I think he was Italian. And it was Italian-German. We were speaking in English. So anyway, when I got out of the cafe across the road, and it was in the centre of Barcelona, it wasn't too late. And luckily, I hadn't had that much to drink. And so then I stopped a taxi, and then I tried to get in the door, and this guy, he wouldn't let me shut the door. But then I started speaking in Spanish so that the taxi driver would know what was going on. And then he said to me, if I ever see you again, I'm going to break your face or something. And then he spat on me. But then the taxi driver just accelerated, and I just closed the door, and I was like, oh my God, the date from hell, seriously. And then when I got home, I actually was renting my spare room out to a couple, and I was just like, you'll never guess what happened to me just now. And I just felt like completely, I mean, this is someone who I didn't just meet a few hours ago. We'd spent months chatting and stuff on the phone. And, that's a lot more intimacy than some people have in a one-night stand. But I was just absolutely shocked by my lack of judge of character, how I just could not imagine that something like that would happen. It was very, very, very scary. And it just reinforced the fact that I never have one-night stands. Because I think if in that situation, you're really kind of putting yourself in a vulnerable situation, which some people might find that part of the thrill of it. But I remember I was actually talking to a woman in my vegan group recently who was saying, I think sex toys are really cold and all of this, and she would rather have sex with a real person. And I was thinking, this person would rather go on a dating app and have sex with some stranger than have sex with yourself and with a sex toy. And I thought, that's crazy. At least with a sex toy, you're not kind of opening yourself up to all of those dangers. Oh, very scary, very scary. I think this is there's even more vulnerability now with the fact that it's not easy to go out for a drink. In lots of places you still can't do that. I know here in Barcelona everything is closed at 5 o'clock, all the bars and restaurants, and we have a curfew at 10 p.m. So maybe some options are only kind of going to someone's place, but you just never know. I mean, sometimes you might have a pleasant surprise, but you might have a nasty one as well. So you just don't really know what's going on. And also I think when we are in a vulnerable position or vulnerable phase in our lives, then that can open you up to more kind of problems or disaster stories. Yeah, so I felt inspired to share this after seeing this very shocking documentary the other night. Yeah, not orgasmic at all, but yes, I wanted to share that. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. So anyway, if you ever had any disaster stories that you'd like to share, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. And if you have any suggestions for new videos, don't hesitate to contact me at venusohara.org, or you can add me on Instagram at venusohara. Thanks for watching.